Good afternoon, this is Matthew Lindsay with Precision Home Group here in Anchorage, Alaska. Coming to you live every day to talk to you about business, life, real estate, and investing. Today, we're talking about buying and selling real estate, but more specifically about buying residential real estate. Now, a lot of people have this mystery. They are unsure, they don't know what happens after they submit an offer on a piece of property, on a residential home, and they just don't know what happens from the time they get that offer accepted to the time that they sit down at the closing table and actually close on that property. So today, I'm going to reveal the mystery. That's right. So today we're going to get into what happens during a pending transaction, during a transaction that has been accepted and before it hits the closing table. So here in Anchorage, Alaska, we are about 30 to 45 days on average to close out a transaction. There's lots of things that have to happen during that time, and we're going to go through them in detail today. So, as we get started here, the first thing that happens is you negotiate the offer, right? Now, we're talking about that offer already being accepted, so we're going to jump past that. You've already negotiated the offer in today's example. The next step that you have to do after you have that accepted offer is that you have to complete the loan application. So you as the buyer have already submitted a pre-qualification letter with your offer from your lender. And that pre-qualification letter says that, hey, this lender, whichever bank or mortgage lender that you are working with, has already committed to lending that money. What that letter says, it's called the 90% letter, says that, hey, they reviewed your documents and based off of that they, are willing to put that out there and say that they can qualify you. So you're going to go back in and complete the loan application. You're going to get them all the documents that they need. You're going to actually submit the application and apply and complete that application. After that, you're going to go into the inspection. So the inspection happens right after you accept the offer and complete the loan application. And you're going to go in, you're going to order the inspection. You are going to have to pay for that as the buyer. And you're going to go in with the inspector and your realtor, and you're going to check out the property. You're going to go through all the different systems in the property. They're going to look at like electrical, they're going to look at plumbing, they're going to look at, make sure there's no major dysfunctioning parts of the home. They're going to check out all the different systems and make sure it's good to go. They are going to find some things, and they're going to indicate that, usually take pictures, take notes, and put it all into a beautiful inspection report you'll typically get the next business day. And that report will be several pages long and have a quick summary at the beginning or the end explaining what are the things that they found wrong in the home. So that takes us into the next step. That is when, once you get that report, that inspection report back, you're actually going to start negotiations with the seller for repairs of the home. So you're going to get together a repair amendment with your realtor, and they're going to write that all out for you with your desires, what you want of that repair, of the repairs of the home. You're going to write that out, what you want. You're going to submit that to the seller. They may accept it, they may counter it. So you'll go back and forth negotiating on those terms until you have some type of agreement. Once you have that agreement, that's typically when the seller is going to order the appraisal for the property. So they're going to get the appraisal going. That does have quite a bit of lead time. It could take a couple of weeks, could, anywhere from like 10 days up to, I've seen it take 3.5 weeks. So you want to get that ordered early on, so that you can actually cut down on the time that you have that pending transaction open. So you want to get that ordered as soon as the repair negotiations are done, and then you're going to go into reviewing a bunch of different documents and items. So the seller at that point is going to work like crazy, getting a bunch of different things together. They're going to get the as-built. That's going to be, pretty much it's a plot map. It's going to be a map showing where the home is located on. It's going to give you measurements, surveys. They're going to give you just a real good idea of what's going on in that property, what's located where on that piece of property that you're buying. It's also going to give you the resale cert if there's a homeowners association, or a condo association if it's a condo. What they're going to do is going to give you a report to review. And that report is going to have everything about that condo or homeowners association, everything from meeting minutes, things discussed. Maybe there's assessments coming up because they have future projects planned for that subdivision, for that homeowners association, or the likes. So you need to look at that, review that, and see if that's something that you want to take on, some of those assessments. It's also going to show you that that home is in good condition, that is in paid up for the condo association or homeowners association dues. So it'll give you a lot of different information about the status of that, lets you know who's on the board of directors and stuff like that. So once we get the resale certificate, we're going to go over the title report. It's going to tell you everything you need to know about the title. You know, is there liens against the property? Is there things that you got to take care of before you take ownership of that property, or does somebody else have rights to that property due to, you know, maybe contractors' liens or things like that? You're going to make sure that the repairs are completed. So you guys negotiated the repairs to be done on the property, right? So toward the end of the transaction, you need to walk through, you need to inspect that, and make sure that those were done per contract. A lot of the times in the contract it states that, you know, the repairs need to be done by a licensed and bonded contractor, and you need invoices or receipts to prove that. So typically the seller is going to forward those receipts to you for proof of work being done. You still want to walk through and make sure that it was done to the standards set in the contract. Also, well and septic. Now, if you're in the municipality, there are some places here that have well and septic. If you're, you know, a little bit more rural, that's more common for a well and septic system. There are tests that need to be done, and depending on your city, borough, county, or municipality, you know, you're going to be required to actually have approval from them, from that jurisdiction, for the well and septic tests. They have to certify it and things like that. So that could take a lot of time. So again, it's kind of like the appraisal. You want to get that started as soon as possible. And you want to make sure that you have all those documents cleared up and ready to go before you close on the property. Lastly, there's a couple last minute things. Homeowners insurance. You're going to want to make sure that before you close, you've set up the homeowners insurance on that property. You're going to want to finish underwriting the loan. You want to get that all done, so close communication with your mortgage provider, making sure that everything's going smoothly. And if there's any extra documents that they need, that you're getting those documents to them in a timely manner. You're going to transfer utilities as you get closer to closing, making sure that there's no shut off or no dead periods for the different utilities on the home, especially here in Alaska in the winter. You don't want water to be shut off, heat, and things like that. You're going to do the final walkthrough right before you close. Make sure that there isn't any additional damage, additional changes to the property before you move in. And then finally, you're going to go to the closing table, sign and record, and then moving day. So all of this takes about 30 to 45 days here in Anchorage. It's different for different states, different cities, wherever you live. But that's the average here in Alaska, here in Anchorage. So if you have any questions, please do reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. But that has been the after an offer is accepted, what happens. So thanks to you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking to you about real estate investing. So this is what happens after you purchase a residential. Tomorrow we're going to be talking more real estate investments, multifamily and commercial. Look forward to seeing you there. Again,